Okay, here we are back in Unity. We're going to take a look at the ARConnex setup package, which is available for download. But before we do that, we want to talk about backing up our work. We've already seen exporting content to asset bundles from our prefab. Asset bundles are primarily for display, so they work great when you're creating content that's going out to a mobile device, but for bringing something back into Unity, we want to basically back this up so that we can grab our raw materials that go into our AR creations at a later date. And so in order to do that, we just select the prefab, and we can go to Assets and drop down, and we'll see Export Package. And what this will do is this will collect all of the materials that are part of this prefab and any connections, any animations that are part of it, anything that's required will all be exported out into one package. And so we can just use the same name that we had used before for our prefab name, and now we can get back to this at a later date, right? So whenever we need it, it's available. And so now we're just going to go ahead and delete this content out of here, and we'll go back to basically a brand new Unity instance, and we don't need to save that. And so now the ARConnex, under the How to 3D Tutorials section, you'll see the basic setup for AR 3D, package download, and backup. And under there is the Unity package, which you can download, and that's the ARConnex Setup 2019.4 package. And so we can go ahead and now go to Assets and Import. And we have that downloaded. We're just going to import that package. And here we go. So what we have is the Unity scene here that we've set up before in our first two tutorials, which includes the Hercules bust. It also includes the reference cube that we've made, so you don't have to make that each time. And then the camera has the three components that are included already in the Reality browser, which allows for the event system to listen for touch events, and the input module handles touch for user interface buttons, and then a physics raycaster will collect any touches on actual geometry that we use. And so as we move forward into the interactive controls, having these three components on the camera, even though the camera is not going to be uploaded, it'll allow any interactivity that we build in the editor to match what the experience would be in the Reality browser. And so in addition to that, there'll be tutorials on each of these, but there's a number of helper components that we can use to add additional interactivity that might not be available right out of the box in Unity. And then there's a couple shaders that are specific to augmented reality for creating portals, and then shadow casting onto surface planes in reality from your geometry. And there'll be tutorials on each of these in this section, but for now we can go ahead and move on to animating in our next video.